Well, a neighbor of mine by the name of David Horvitz and his wife Fran were involved in building a hole-in-the-wall camp in Florida. That's where we moved from. And he invited me down and he said, come to this event. I'm having it in Miami. It's a fundraiser. And I thought, okay, I have to admit this. I thought, okay. I said, Paul Newman, sounds like fun. And when I got there, I realized that it was an amazing project.
That's the miracle that you're supporting tonight. And behind the scenes is a phenomenal medical team who know how to help children to regain their self-esteem and confidence that illness has snatched away from them.
I wanted to build a camp in the Vail Valley. I went to David and I said, you know, David, I think I'd like to give it a go. He turned to me and he said, it's easy, Allison, you should do it.
I used to hike on snowshoe a lot with Allison, and so one day we were walking up Buck Creek and she said, I'm going to start this camp. Do you want to help me? And in this big burst of naivete, I said, sure, not knowing that meant creating a village and raising $20 million. Well, we started off, there were a few of us in the basement of the Wells Fargo office building.
It was just so exciting. It was relentless. It was 100%. You know, I never felt like I was responsible for every detail. Ruth did. Ruth was.
It's something I'd always wanted to do, really take the skills I had and apply them to something that would leave a lasting impact on others.
My first year on faculty at Children's, my chairman got this phone call about some people in Colorado that they're thinking they want to have a Paul Newman camp here. Is anybody interested? And I looked around, it was like I won the lottery. I have wanted to do this for so long. Growing up, a really close friend of mine had leukemia and was fortunate enough to go to the first Paul Newman camp in Connecticut. Watching what he went through and what his family experienced at that camp, it really was life-changing for me. So we got together and talked about what we could do and is it possible.
First, we needed to confirm that a camp serving children with serious illnesses was really needed in the Rocky Mountain region.
And how many sick kids can we serve? Who are the kids that can't currently go to camp and why?
We took campers on the road to other serious fun camps around the country. It allowed us to talk about really where we were going with our own firsthand voice, which was so important. As we started the organization, we realized we had a large capital campaign ahead of us.
The major problem as we started the capital campaign was that the economy tanked.
Well, I think, you know, starting out to raise $20 million as a recession was coming on was really a very brave thing to do. The founding board really came in on nothing but faith.
Once they got started, it's like, oh, I know somebody. The most significant was Denny Sanford, who offered a matching grant of $7 million. And that certainly gave us the backbone to go out and raise the rest of the money. We had to find the land. We looked at 35 different pieces of properties.
And unfortunately, there were some really beautiful pieces of property, but the altitude was too high.
So it had to be low enough so kids with respiratory illness and sickle cell could come.
The first time I saw the Roundup River Ranch campsite was with Allison. We drove in the front gate and an eagle was flying over the property, and she looked at me and she said, "This is it." And we knew we had a lot of work ahead of us. Here we're off the grid for water and wastewater. We used to take poster boards around the office and literally chart out, if this happens, then we'll do this. If this happens, we'll go in this direction.
What happens if the road is closed because there's a blizzard? What happens if the winds are so bad or there's a storm or thunder or lightning and we can't get a helicopter to land if we need that level of care? And the challenge really is to construct hospital-level care here. I've discharged kids from the ICU to come to camp because we know that that's the most important thing for that kid to do. The tremendous sense of responsibility that imparts on us is pretty overwhelming sometimes, but also the honor of being part of what that means to that family and that point in their lives.
We broke ground on November 9th, 2009. We also simultaneously had achieved our full capital campaign goal.
It was the first time that we saw the plans that we had laid out that were so meticulously crafted actually have a footprint.
It was an amazing experience to see the kids because it was everything that we said it was. It was magical. I volunteered the first year and I was in a cabin. So I got to see firsthand the difference that we made. It's a change of life. 1 week changes their life.
What I get out of this has been witnessing the power of the human spirit. And after 10 years, the 4,000th camper is here. I am so grateful and in awe of what people can really accomplish when they're committed to make it happen.
All it does is make me feel good. My sister and I are very involved with funding medical research, but this is also medicine on a different side that you just cannot not do it. This is worth it. This is worth my time, my energy.
My philanthropy is to really get the biggest bang for the buck, and I know that's happening here. Truly one of the best investments that you can make. You can change children's lives.
Camp is always free to our campers and their families. In honesty, this takes a village. It has taken people from the electrician that rewires a light and says, no worries, no bill for this, I love what you do, to each and every donor. I'll be forever grateful for that incredible community of people.
At the hospital, we can treat the body, we can treat the illness, and at camp, we can treat the soul. And if we can do our whole job, the circle of influence that child's life has expands without limits. And that's really my goal as a pediatrician, and I think it's the goal of everybody that works here.